had to shell out more than $1 billion after the International Tribunal in The Hague ruled in favor of Devas Multimedia today. This comes after space organization ISRO had cancelled a deal inked with Devas to use 2 of its satellites and spectrum for commercial purposes in 2011. Joining us now to discuss this further is Ramachandran Vishwanathan, the President and CEO of Devas. Ram, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18. Well, this is a big day for you. This is the second arbitration panel that has ruled in your favor. We've already heard from ISRO saying that they will explore whether or not to challenge this legally. But I want to ask you, where does this leave your appetite for investing in India?
Well, first, we're very pleased to have the second arbitration award be issued unanimously. This is in respect of our shareholders. As you know, this was on the heels of the ICC award that came out last September, which was also unanimous in favor of the company. And we're looking forward to seeing how we can move forward and resolve this dispute, which has been long-standing. That's obviously a precursor to any other involvement in the Indian market.
You know, you've obviously seen the statement from ISRO, Ram, saying that they are going to explore challenging this order. What would your response be to that?
My response, I think, is that, you know, we've had 2 preeminent international panels adjudicate these matters and have found in our favor. And we're very pleased with the arbitration awards that the company has received and our shareholders most recently in The Hague. And we're looking forward to seeing how we can press forward with the award that was issued with respect to the company last year, as well as the shareholders as they move forward into the damages phase. But eventually, we would like to bring this matter to a resolution.
Let me also bring in Larry into this conversation. Lawrence Babbio, the former Vice Chairman and President of Verizon, also joining us. Now, Larry, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18. Let me put that question that I put to Ram. What does this mean now as far as your appetite for investing in India, for doing business in India is concerned?
Thank you, Shireen, for having us today. I think clearly we need to resolve these issues first. We have now 2 international awards. One of them has already been quantified in terms of damages at over $670 million. We're going to proceed now to the damages portion of this latest award, and we're confident in that stage as well. But as Ram just said, our primary objective here really is to resolve resolve this claim, resolve all of our outstanding issues with the government of India, and do it in a peaceful way and collaborative way. That may lead to some other issues or to some other things that we can do, but until we resolve these issues, then I think we would have to consider alternative to that investment.
So could you explain to us what some of the other issues that you alluded to just now, Larry? Because it's very clear that the government doesn't seem to be in a particularly collaborative frame of mind at this point in time if one goes by the statement post the tribunal order.
Well, I can't speak, obviously, for what the government is thinking, but clearly we have, at this point, gotten 2 successful decisions out of 2 international tribunals. Well, we stand... we essentially agree with both of those, obviously, and we are anxious to proceed with the next phase of our arbitration proceedings. But like I said, we also stand ready, if the government is willing, to have discussions around how we can settle this particular issue in a more collaborative way.
Has there been any conversation, Larry and Ram, with the government of India on possibly settling this issue?
I personally have not had any conversation along those lines, but as I said, I stand ready to join in some conversations along those lines. And I will leave it to Ram to discuss if he has had any.
Ram?
Shireen, we have not had any formal discussions. We certainly would be open to dialogue as we continue to go down this path. As Larry said, you know, this has been a long journey over the last 4 years since these arbitrations commenced under the earlier administration, and we certainly are open to having a dialogue with respect to how we bring these matters to a resolution.
So my final question to you, Ram, then what is it that you would like to see the Indian government put on the table? Both of you have talked about wanting to settle this in a collaborative fashion, engaging in a collaborative dialogue with the government. In light of the order and the possibility of a settlement, what is it that you would like the Indian government to put on the table?
Well, I think it remains, Shireen, it remains to be seen as to what the government comes forward with respect to their thoughts on the matter. This is obviously a government which has inherited this matter from the earlier government, which had cancelled the contract. These arbitrations commenced under the UPA government, and we would welcome the dialogue with respect to this government. We're keen, as Larry said, to try to see how to move forward and attempt to resolve this. This has been a matter which is now standing for, I think, in excess of 5 years, both for the company and its shareholders. And now, on the heels of both of these successful arbitrations and the awards that have been issued, we hope that there would be an opportunity to start to engage to move forward.
Well, we do hope that there could be some sort of resolution. Appreciate you joining us, Ram and Larry, on CNBC TV 18. It's a big win there for Devas and a setback for ISRO, but